This is the very entrance to the house, you see? All the uprights were simply displaced.
The house is here.
Yes.
The door flew, 50 meters to the street?
Yeah, look where it landed. This is a wall that collapsed, and here the laundry room also collapsed. It fell. There are jugs here.
The destruction inside Ricky's parents' house is enormous. Every day, Hezbollah terrorists in Lebanon launch anti-tank missiles at IDF posts and civilian homes in the north.
The damage is huge. Thank God no one was home. In my opinion, it's impossible to return here. This house will be demolished, and then we will build a new one.
This is not the only house that was damaged in the street. The entire area is being run as a combat zone. And in general, the recommendation for everyone at the moment is to avoid reaching the row of houses next to the border. Your parents are on the border of the State of Israel.
Exactly. You can see it from here, completely open.
The border fence passes just 30 meters from us.
Yes.
The house is here.
Yes.
That's why it's the first to get it.
Yes, absolutely. As you can see, it is really the closest and the most exposed.
Well, not pleasant.
Come on. Yeah, let's get out of here.
The northernmost community in Israel, established at the end of the 19th century, has never been abandoned like this. Not in any complex security period. Life here for the last 2 months has been one of constant alert. It's a bit strange. We need a weapon and a protective vest in Metula.
Yes, Metula is the northernmost point of the State of Israel, and it is threatened from all sides. This is how we move around here in Metula these days, with helmets and bulletproof vests.
The mission in the north since the beginning of the campaign has been defined by the government as defensive, a reality that the soldiers who were called here on October 7th are not always able to understand.
The main thing that worries the people is when are we going to move forward? When are we going to change the situation here so that the residents of Metula can return to their homes? I would be happy to see us move into attack. I believe it will happen, and we are ready for it to happen. There's no problem here, neither of security nor of motivation. Just let them give an order, and we are in Beirut.
At the Narkis outpost, which controls the entire region, they have now completed an attack on Hezbollah positions in the region. These photos were published in Lebanon from the village of Kila, across the border.
We have defined an area. Basically, anyone who comes up from Hezbollah in this area, we kill. During the time we've been here, we've realized it is much more difficult to see an enemy on the other side. He retreats and raises his head less and less. There's a good reason for that. Direct, accurate fire, strong fire on any enemy that tries to approach the space, and certainly on an enemy that tries to infiltrate.
Among the residents of the north, frustration has recently increased, with tens of thousands of residents having been evacuated from their homes. Some of the reservists who know this difficulty firsthand.
My daughter is 6 years old, and after what we've gotten in the last 70 days, she said to me, "Dad, go, so we don't keep getting rockets." That's what she tells me as we stay in a hotel. A 6-year-old girl. That's what she's telling us. For me, that's the mission.
Netanel is optimistic that the change is already approaching.
I've had a total of 7 friends killed so far, whether on the Black Saturday or from everyday life since, and the war in Gaza. But there's nothing to be done. This is the mission. Now it's our turn.
So there's more force.
There's plenty. My wife has it too. Today is our wedding anniversary, so congratulations, Michal.
This is our home front. This is what we are fighting for. It's beautiful pictures that show the innocence and simplicity. Some of them are from children's kindergartens, and some are simply from people whose hearts are good.
And you hang it on the wall, and?
Looking at the pictures, we know that there is a reason to get up in the morning.
We received an incoming alert. We enter our positions, enter the protected spaces, and later we will fire towards Lebanon, at the targets we have.
Meanwhile, in Metula, the streets are darkened to make it difficult for Hezbollah to hit the residents' houses. The council's war room is almost the only place where the light is on.
The community is very quiet. There are no people here. I don't hear children. I don't see cars. It just makes makes me deathly depressed. I was driving the other day here on Rishonim Street in Metula. A car pulled in front of me. Really, real. And I said, "Who's traveling in Metula?" It turned out to be a member of the emergency department who had finished his shift and went home to take a shower.
The council has begun working with an expert psychologist on a mental rehabilitation plan for the 2,000 residents once they return. But it's already clear that on the day after the war, some will choose not to return.
7 families have already left, gone, came with trucks. We brought them in. And I hear of quite a few, also among the families of the members of the standby squad, of the women who say, "We will not return to Metula with our children." And by the way, this is increasing.
So are you thinking of coming back, or are you coming back for sure?
I want to hope that we can go back to our lives, to our house, a house we built facing the border. I have patience and hope to return to a better reality. I don't want to start a life somewhere else. This is the place where I was born and grew up, and this is where I want to continue to live and raise my children.